Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's play some more Alan Wake in our Complete Beginner's Guide here, and, well, we're in the Oh Dear Diner, looking for Carl Stuckey, and we've got a superfan, Rose, but if we move over here, we've also got some good friends, biker buddies.
Do me a favor, Sonny. I could really use a tune right now. Coconut, number 6 in the jukebox. I'd do it myself, but both of my legs have gone to sleep. Bad circulation. Yeah.
Are you serious? Coconut again? You disgust me. Call yourself a rocker. Unbelievable. Ha!
So, in Alan Wake, it behooves you
put the lime in the coconut. Drink them both up.
to kind of...
Because we're brothers, don't think I won't murder you in your sleep.
Oh boy. Talk to everybody you can. Because it's all connected.
Yes, that's my favorite tune.
Put it on for the man.
Coconut.
Shut your mouth, you demented has-been. If I had my hammer,
It
I'd
does
shut
that.
it for
Get
you.
stuck.
Jeez.
Yeah, you need to give it a good solid whack.
I'll give the whack.
Tune number 6 in the jukebox.
Children of the Elder God. Now there's a song for you.
That song's a little different than Coconut. I'm going to rapidly push X, and there we go.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Yes.
This is it. I've died and gone to hell.
Oh my goodness. Alright, and Rose won't mind if I go into the staff area. Oh my god, she's watching. And who's this? A very nervous looking lady with a lantern.
Don't go in there, young man. You can hurt yourself in the dark.
I think I can handle it, ma'am. I didn't want to wait. I wanted to find Stuckey, to get the key and get out as soon as possible. The waitress was giving me a headache. Overeager fans always did.
So eventually you'll need to find what you need to do, and you just walk around and explore it. Sometimes the game won't tell you on the compass like where you should go. You just wander around, and yep, we go into the darkness that we've been wisely warned to not go into. And we can look around. Doesn't look like much. Maybe he's in the men's room.
Hello? Mr. Stuckey?
Carl couldn't make it. Unfortunately, he was taken ill. But I have the key for you and instructions on how to get to the lake.
Okay.
I wish you a good stay in my cabin. I'll come by later to check how you've settled in. And to meet your wife. I insist.
Thanks.
Yeah, okay, sure. I like your veil. Are we attending a wake? Oh my
Cauldron
god.
Lake is a special place. Very inspiring.
An Alan Wake? Yes, it's very inspiring. And by the way, in case you haven't picked that up, that's a lot of what this story is all about inspiration, about writing, creativity, where ideas come from. I'm so happy too. This has been great. We got special instructions. She's going to come by and check on us.
Lucky this time, young man. You can hurt yourself in the dark.
I've heard about that.
This really ought to be fixed. And then I must remind Sarah to change the lights at the station. It's been too long already.
You're right. We should change the lights at the station.
Even that sounds better than your singing.
Are you alright?
Splendid. Damn hernia. It swells up like a balloon if I lift it. It's heavier than a spoon. Yeah. Splendid. It's been a long time, Dom. Good to see you.
Hey, you wouldn't happen to have a bottle on you, would you, Tom?
I wish.
So they're calling Alan Tom, which is, you know, maybe chalked up to their senility and days of rock and roll. but just make note of things like that.
The Andersons, they're local musicians. We're waiting for Dr. Hartman to come pick them up. They wandered off from his clinic at the Cauldron Lake Lodge.
They wandered off. Bye, Rose. I'll see you about that tour later, okay?
I'll be...
Bye, Mr. Wade.
Goodbye.
Mission accomplished. The key and the directions.
My hero. I got some flashlights, just in case.
Thanks, just in case.
Hey, wait! Mrs. Wake! Your keys!
That
Wait.
diner was a real nut house.
If he's got the keys,
Can you believe this
what
place?
do I have?
This would make a wonderful setting for a book.
We're
It would.
supposed to be on vacation, Alice. I'll figure it out when we get back home. Okay?
Okay. We can talk about this later.
Pat Main here on KBFF.
I didn't want to talk about it. I wanted to bury my head in sand.
Here's another one of my favorites to go with it.
Once upon a time, I was a successful writer, but that was a long time ago. I hadn't been able to write a word in 2 years, not since my last book.
And now the weather. It's gonna be a clear night, so you folks in the big city might want to look up every once in a while.
We
See
will.
those stars winking down at you. It gets pretty dark out here, but they'll light your...
Wow. It's gorgeous, Alan.
It's something, all right. Don't worry, honey. I'll get you inside safe and sound before it gets dark. And I've got the flashlight.
I know. I'm okay.
Alice had a phobia, the fear of darkness. I wanted to make sure we were inside with the lights on before sunset.
So Alice is afraid of the dark. And so is that lady at the diner. And we found people imbued with darkness in our nightmare before. So, yeah, let's get the lights on. Now you can poke around outside the cabin. But first, let's go in. That little mini game is just push X until you fill up the circle.
Dark in there. We need lights. Can you figure out how to get the power on, honey?
That rocking horse just disturbs me every time I see it. And
A
this...
shoebox filled with books by Thomas Zane sat on the shelf. I'd never heard of him before. Hello? Anyone here?
Thomas Zane. I believe we saw a poster mentioning him in the cabin earlier, where a jovial axe murderer took down our friend, who claimed to know us, although I don't remember him. So I'm going to go upstairs and check things out. And
For a moment, the oppressive feel of the nightmare I had seen on the ferry returned.
I mean, that lady is scary.
Damn.
And there's somebody in an
I
antiquated
needed to get
diving
power
suit.
running in the cabin. There had to be a fuse box or a generator somewhere on the island.
So at this point, Alan will kind of just
The cabin looked like a time capsule from the 60s, or even earlier.
narrate what you need to do. So always pay attention to all text, all dialogue, all writing in the game. It's either important to understanding the story, or it'll just help you know what to do next. So we're looking for a fuse box at this point, and maybe a generator. So let's go out the back door. It seems open already. And there's a little radio here. Turn it on.
Fest guests have already started to arrive. Just ran into one on the ferry. A famous artist, no less. We'll see if we can rope him into an interview later on. Now let's go to the phones. Caller, you're on KBF FM.
Hi, Pat. It's
Bud. Why, hello, Rose. What's on your mind?
Rose.
I know who that famous artist was. It was Alan Wake, wasn't it? He's my favorite writer.
Well, Rose,
I just saw him at the diner. Oh, I am so excited he's here.
Rose.
I'm sure he's glad to be here, too. Well, folks, I guess the secret's out. This is Pat Maine on KBFFM. And now some music.
Great. So much for keeping a low profile.
So much indeed. Thanks a lot, Rose. Alright, so I don't really see a generator out on the dock. So let's kind of go back into the house.
The power cable goes to that shed over there.
Oh, and Alice has a little bit of a clue. And yes, indeed, you could see the cable. By the way, I guess it should be mentioned at some point in this series, I'm playing Alan Wake Remastered, but most of this advice is fine for just the regular Alan Wake, if that's the version of the game that you have. Because much of what has been changed for this version is just the graphical game engine, so it looks better, but the mechanics are largely the same.
There's probably a fuse box or a generator in the shed.
There is. Maybe. Can I get in this shed? Not from this way. Let's kind of go around. Here we go. I'm in.
An generator had been connected to the power cable.
I'm going to start this up. 1. And you have to push X when it's in the green portion of the wheel here 3 times successfully, and it's on.
The lights are on. Good work, honey. I'll freshen up a bit and start settling in.
Okay, I'll look around a bit. The island had once been the site for a love story. Maybe it would be that again.
I hope so. Yeah, maybe it would be that again.
It was a beautiful place. I told myself I could rest here, sleep here, and forget about my work. I thought we could be happy here.
Well, I mean, sounds good.
Alice had told me about Cauldron Lake Lodge.
It's up there.
The old building used to be a hotel, but these days it was no longer open to the public.
It's the Overlook Hotel. Okay, so we got to return to Alice. I'm sure she's thrilled. And you'll see a carving on the tree here. TZ plus BJ. We'll just have to think about that. A cabin that children hate to come to because the only toy is this rocking horse.
Alice? Honey?
Alice?
Alan, I'm upstairs. I have a surprise for you.
Okay, I like surprises. Are those Alice's jeans?
Well, hello there.
I'm not the surprise. It's in the study. Go take a look.
Okay.
She's not the surprise. What? Uh-oh.
Surprise!
Alice?
What is this?
I guess I have a small confession to make. I thought maybe you could write here that a change of scenery would get you past...
Damn it, Alice, everyone
Hey, just hear me out. There's a local doctor, Dr. Hartman. I read a book of his. He has a private clinic here. He specializes in helping artists.
So now you want to get me committed?
No, it's not like that. That's not... Alan? Alan?
Just don't! I don't want to hear it. God damn it, Alice! God damn it! I knew she wouldn't follow me in the dark. I needed some time alone to think things through.
That's not nice, Alan.
Damn it. Alice? Alice? Alice! The cabin had gone dark. All the lights were out.
Alan!
We're running back.
Alice, I'm coming.
Okay. Birds.
What the hell?
So the birds are coming, and they hit you. Now, you can use your light on the birds to take them down, but there's not much point in this situation, because look at my health. They hardly hurt you. Just get back to Alice, or try to.
Oh no!
I mean, Alice? Alan, do you know how deep the water is right there? Oh, he's gonna find out.
Keep going, Alan. Wake up.
Alice? Waking up in the crashed car felt like I had woken from one nightmare and entered another. I couldn't remember how I got there. All I knew was that something terrible had happened to Alice. The phone was dead. I'd have to find help on foot.
This isn't good. Checkpoint reached. And we're in a new section. Okay. So, we saw what happened. And this is not something that's too confusing if you understand the logic of this game. I started, and I hit a hitchhiker. That turned out to be a nightmare. I went to a cabin, I jumped in a lake, now I'm somewhere else. These kinds of things happen in this game, and you just gotta roll with it. We very nearly drove our car off of a cliff. I don't know how it's still hanging on. There's something to examine here.
Among Alice's things was a book, The Creator's Dilemma, by a Dr. Emil Hartman. Seeing the book brought back my fight with Alice. I didn't like it, and I didn't like the guy's smug face on the cover either.
Yeah, me neither. Dr. Emil Hartman. Alright, so what we need to do now is go where there's light. So you see how there's some lights over there? It looks like it's actually, well, a convenience store? We'll find out. Watch out for these dangling power cables. There we go.
The gas station was my best bet. They'd have a phone I could use. It looked like a long hike through the forest to get there.
Oh, it's Stuckey's. So we've got to go through the forest to get there, and it's dark. And I don't have anything. I don't have a gun. I don't have a flashlight. This is, again, typical for the game. And there goes our car. So we're not getting the deposit back from the rental place. And luckily, we weren't inside that. So, again, typically in the game, when you change places, if something happens like this, you just go to a new area, you lose everything that you had. So again, use your supplies, because who knows how long you're going to be able to retain them for. Alright. Kind of looking around. Hello. Alright, here's some light. This looks good.
Hello? Is someone there? The loose sheets of paper were pages from a manuscript entitled Departure. That was the name I planned to use for the next novel I had never gotten started. I was named the author. I hadn't written it. I couldn't remember writing it. In the scene on the page, the hero was attacked by an axe murderer in the woods at night.
So you can push the center button to get your manuscript pages. Now, your manuscript pages are going to look different than mine, unfortunately. And this is because the manuscript pages are kept through your playthroughs. So you can find them. Some of them are scripted, like you will find them. Some of them are hidden. Like I said, there's, the coffee thermoses, there's hidden caches of supplies. And then other times you can find some of these manuscript pages. And then some of them, as you can see by this symbol, are found only if you play this in Nightmare difficulty mode to get the ultimate version of the manuscript. So again, I told you this is a story about creation, writing a story. So now I'm finding pages for a manuscript that I planned to write that I didn't know that I've written that seem to eerily describe what has happened in the game or what is going to happen soon. So they're very portentous, and you want to read them. So, for example, this is the one right here.
He turned to face me. His face was covered in shadows. It was hard to make him out in the darkness of the forest that surrounded us, but the axe he lifted was plain to see. It glistened with the blood of his victim. He grinned madly. The shadows were alive, distorting his features. It was a scene from a nightmare, but I was awake.
So that's bad. All right. So we're going to wander through the darkness of the forest. I feel really good about this. Stick on the path if you can. Another thing about the game is, like, it looks like it's completely open. You can go anywhere. It's really not. And a clue is when it starts to get really, really misty and foggy, that's where you can't go. And usually the music will change to also give you a clue, like you're going someplace you can't.
Please, I've been in an accident.
Now, the violin screech like that is not a good sign. The strings swelling up there, that's bad guy sign. I don't see it right away, but there's a light and we want to get there. So we're going to be trying to do our very best to not fall off the cliff, that's us dying, but to get to the lights that we see down here.
The lights up ahead were a good sign. Maybe I wouldn't have to hike all the way down to the gas station to find a phone.
Mm-hmm. Let's go for it. So we can curl into here, and this is a bit of light platforming that the game wants us to do, which is to walk up this log. But before I do that, I might want to just poke around over here to see if there's anything of note. And you could see the game will kind of bound you off. It gets really dark. There's the wall of this mountain, and we can't go anywhere. The items that you can interact with and pick up are shiny, so you can see them pretty well in the darkness. So there's very clearly not something to get right there. And we'll go over here. Now, by the way, also, because I'm playing the game again, the game persists on all your save files, so there might be a coffee thermos or something like that. That's a one-time pickup that you will see in your game that I won't see in my game. I don't know where all of those are, which ones I picked up and which ones I didn't. So that might be why some of these things are different. But as far as I understand it, nothing is randomly placed in this. It's all in the same locations if you haven't acquired it before. And we just drop down right here. And we're in this charming lumberyard.
Anybody there?
Got a new checkpoint.
Please, I've been in an accident. Hey.
I have been in an accident.
Hey, you! Phil! There's been an accident. I need help. Listen, I need to...
Premium cabins for rent in...
Oh, hell.
Carl Stucky. Pleased to meet you. Non-refundable reservation deposit required. Fair and square.
So it's Stucky. I'm hoping to stay at your cabin. Okay. So it's time to run. Oh, there's a manuscript page. Let's get this. And okay, the logs are rolling. By the way, you can always pause the game. You know, pick up the manuscript page and read it if you'd like. In this tutorial, I'm not going to read the manuscript pages because I don't know which ones you've seen and which ones you haven't. In my Let's Play, I go through all of them that I find if you want the full story. I really want to try to avoid spoiling as much as I possibly can. I'm going to run for the door.
I had to figure a way out of this. Any second now, and Stucky would be knocking on the door with his axe like Nicholson in The Shining.
Exactly. Got a gun. Got a light. And this is the par for the course equipment in this game. I now have a flashlight and I have a revolver. So first of all, go over here, pick up some extra batteries. You see how in the upper left it says I have 2. I pick this up, I get 4. I get 6. So we have some more batteries. Now, one of the things I am terrible at with the game is using batteries. I always want to try to save them, use them. The game gives you far more batteries than you need, and you will find areas where, like, they just give you batteries and you can't even pick them up if you don't use them. So it's certainly in your interest to, again, don't willy-nilly use them all, but use them. So the Taken are really creepy because they just, like, utter these phrases. I always find them amusing, like how they talk. Let's try to call out.
Yes.
Bright Falls Sheriff Station.
Hello?
That happened. So the power has been cut. And this giant bulldozer is heading towards the cabin. So let's get out of here. It's going to... Yep, look at that. The whole thing. There it goes. Welcome to Bright Falls. Right, so stay away from, 20,000 volts, and let's move this way. I don't know how many volts, by the way. I just made up a big number. Alright, so we've got bad guys all over. Now, in a situation like this... I'm going to put the battery in by pushing triangle. Got him.
My head pounded with a concussion. I'd never fired a gun outside a shooting range, and now I just killed someone. Or something. There were no bodies. They just disappeared. If I was dreaming, it felt real enough to make me sick.
So a few things about what just happened right there. It was hard to talk because it was in real time. Sometimes you need to understand when the game is saying stand and fight and when the game is saying run away. In this situation, this fence is electrified. There's no way out. It's all confined. So this is a you have to fight. And when you fight, I used my flashlight and I replaced the battery by pushing triangle. Remember, because I'm not trying to stockpile batteries. I'm okay with using them. It made the fight easier. You saw I ran out of bullets and how difficult that made it to try to reload. That's why I immediately after the fight, I reloaded my gun. I think each enemy on this difficulty level, if it's a normal enemy and not a bigger one, will take 3 shots after you've taken the darkness from it, something like that. I am not 100% sure if headshots do more or damage or not, but that's what happened. So reload, and I've got my flashlight. You see it's fully charged. I have 5 batteries left. So I stood and fought, and then you'll notice how when you have cleared all of the enemies, the game will give you a musical effect, and things will kind of calm down, telling you there's no more enemies coming. Like, you just have to pick up on these audio cues and these visual cues. There are some situations in the game where that never happens, and the enemies are infinite, and then if you stand and fight, you're just going to die because you're going to run out of supplies. So in those spots, it's time to run away. But remember, the game checkpoints so much that if you make a mistake, just load the checkpoint, whatever, and do it again. Now, there's also this over here. So this, if you turn it on, is a light that you can use that wrecks the enemies, and you can save your batteries by using these. It's very, very helpful. So if you ever find anything that makes light, turn it on. I'm going to pick up some extra bullets right here. And then the other thing I want to show you is you notice how on that crate there's, in yellow, there's an arrow that's been drawn, and if I use my flashlight, you could see some more like remnants of the yellow paint. This yellow paint always points to some kind of clue that is a hidden cache of supplies or a way that we should go. So I'm going to follow the arrows, for example, and say, what do you mean? And then follow whatever you see. Like, here's an arrow, it's down here, and then there's like some of these dots and things from the paint, and then the arrow says go over here.
Eerie hand-painted graffiti was revealed by my flashlight. Someone had hidden a chest of supplies near it.
So whenever you find this yellow torch, you know you've hit the mother lode, and there's a white treasure box that says Bright Falls Light and Power. And you open it up, and look at this. We get a flare gun, we get an extra bullet, and another flare for our flare gun. So look out for anything that's Bright Falls Power. Trucks, or crates, whatever it is, because, well, you want light and you want power. So that's a good thing. Now, as far as getting through here, we can't climb over this fence because it's been electrified, so we need to turn it off. And here is a massive breaker. So let's kind of flip this, kick it. That's electrical safety 101. And now
the dark forest was
we
the
are
last
through.
place I wanted to go, but I had no choice. I had to get to the gas station.
We did. So we're going to climb down here. We reached the checkpoint. And, okay. Oh my god. Okay. So I accidentally, if you pick up the flare gun, it sometimes will switch to your flare gun. I didn't mean to use that right there, but that was funny slow-mo shot of us wrecking that dude. So anyway, we can open this up and we can get some more batteries, more revolver ammo. So you see that generally the game is extremely generous, at least on this difficulty level, with ammo and batteries and stuff. So you can use it. Now, I mean, of course, I'm talking about normal difficulty. I'm not talking about trying to do a nightmare clear or anything like that. All right. So back here, is there anything extra that we might want? You could come back and there is a manuscript page. So you can come back and get a manuscript page over here. And there's a cool old tractor. And we'll just kind of avoid this dangling wire and move down here. And a checkpoint. Awesome. So we're moving through the forest. We now have some weapons. We've got batteries. We've been in a car accident. Alice apparently disappeared into a lake. Don't know how we got into a car accident, and we're trying to get to Stucky's gas station to make a call. And I hope you're all finding this guide series to be useful and fun. Thank you so much for watching. I'll check you in the next one. Take care.